December 11, 2024. This is the S&P 500 E-Futures Mini on the 2000 tick chart using NinjaTrader 8. This is what the chart looked like today. Looks like there was kind of a small consolidation in the pre-market, then it rallied. Another consolidation, rally, kind of a sideways consolidation, and a small sell-off. It's kind of how I drew the charts today. It was a total of 2 trades that I took today, and they're both profitable. The only economic data that came out was at 5:30, which is about right here. You can see this big rally that started to occur. It was the core CPI numbers. And then after that, there wasn't really much other news. Overall volume it's still a little on the low side, but not too bad. I did see other few setups and some aggressive setups. So I'm getting into trades right now. So in the pre-market, it's just kind of in the sideways consolidation. Everybody's waiting for the news to occur, and it hits right here, and it caused this big spike. So early on, I had trouble finding an appropriate channel to kind of try to capture everything, especially this yellow one. Ended up settling on this one, but as the day developed, I was thinking, okay, maybe I should take it down here. Maybe it's something like this with an overshoot, drag it to here. Maybe it's actually something over here because the bottoms fit a little bit better like this. So it was a little confusing, and it didn't help that the candles themselves were really, really, well, not super tiny, but they were very tightly clustered. So it didn't really have a breakout, and the ranges in this area weren't super reliable. They were kind of okay here, where there was respecting the resistance high, but not so much the lows. So the EMA was acting as a key entry point in this section, but it wasn't, it was okay that it was kind of this really long gradual move because I didn't really see that many clean setups to take. So on the open, there's really no second entries. There's a lot of first entries. So it's like a new high here, say first entry, makes a new high here. There's another first entry. Also on the low side, you have first entry short, second entry short. This is a small candle, it's only 4 ticks, but there's really no real setup here. Maybe you could argue that it's at the pre-market highs and it's fail breakouts coming back in, but when you see this, it's just not really something that exciting or that enticing. It's not really a clean setup, especially when you have all these dojis in a row. So then price action continues moving. Again, I didn't come up with this yellow up channel until a little bit later. So it was hard to trade, or I wouldn't say hard to trade. It's just hard to trust anything reliably because I had all kinds of channels going on like this and other ways. So then it hits this kind of this sideways range action. It's a new high. It's a first entry long, pull back to the second entry long. It's doji, not the most appealing trade, especially when prices are just kind of clustered together sideways. It's a new high. You have a triple test here. There's a new low here, first entry short, second entry short, technically a third entry short. There's just nothing really appealing right here. Prices continue moving up. It kind of hits this bottom side, but again, this yellow up channel wasn't really trusted, so it wasn't really firm to trust this as a bounce here. But anyways, it moves up. You have a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, second entry long, but it's also fit in this nice channel, and it sets up for my first trade that you'll see right here. So it looks like I'm at the So it looks like it's selling off. It breaks, makes one attempt down, makes a second attempt down. So first I see this, right? I'm thinking there's 2 legs down, but it wasn't the cleanest 2 legs because the issue I had with the yellow channel is kind of what I had here. It kind of looks like it fits like this. Go ahead and just color this in momentarily. So I had this yellow down channel, this overshoot here. It didn't fit really well, but it looked like there was 2 legs, 1 leg down, second leg, but also looked like it fit in this nice yellow down channel. Excuse me, this orange down channel. I saw a new low here is a first entry short, pull back. It's about to create a second entry short here. Break of this orange down channel needs to test the low. It's one attempt. This could be the second attempt. I like that there was an EMA rejection, and it's a good signal bar. So I actually entered here. I knew I'd have to push it a little past this low here. So when I closed here, I was wondering if there's enough momentum to push it down. So I held on, was able to get the quick scalp, move my runner from 1 point above here to 1 point below break even, and I fortunately didn't get a runner. I also thought that this was potentially a trading range, so I was seeing myself at the top of the range. Bottom of the range was a little bit harder to know for sure. It was potentially right there, and I knew I'd have to push it out by 1 or 2 ticks. So I was willing to take that risk. I just like that setup. Prices then kind of chop sideways. So the new low is a first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short here. It's not really that appealing because you're running. It's hard to know if this green channel is very shallow. It's not that bad, but you could be selling into a support. I'm not really sure I'm in a range. I know I broke out of this range. Is it a failed breakout? It looks like it could be a failed breakout, but the problem is the breakout is so large. Pretty much the breakout went all the way up to double the size of this range itself. Normally a failed breakout is like it occurs right really close to where it happened and then moves right back in, but it kind of dwelled outside for a while. So no real setup there. It pushes up, breaks out of this green up channel, tests the high. It creates what I think is this failed breakout on this top of this trading range because I was playing with the idea that maybe it's actually lower right here. So it was initially here because it hit the bodies of these candles much nicer. It's a failed breakout and it's coming back in. This is definitely a better failed breakout than considering this is a failed breakout of this tiny, can't even click it, this tiny range. So it starts moving back down and moves very decisively down. The first entry long, pull back. It creates a second entry long potential and a triple test, but I can't consider this an almost setup because I have one touch, two touch, three touch. So as a triple test for sure, there's a new low, first entry long, pullback. It's about to create a second entry long. It made a double bottom. So I'm thinking the bottom or the push down of this orange down channel might have played out. So I'm not necessarily sure it's going to push down a second time. So I wanted to see what happened in the next candle. This next candle isn't very compelling. It is a triple test. Its potential bottom of the range could be moving up. Keep in mind this big yellow up channel still has to test its high. So it's a break. It's first attempt up, potentially a second attempt up, but the follow through wasn't there. So I call it an almost trade. Then it pushes up. So I thought, okay, if there's a higher low, there might be a something here. Pulls back and it creates this higher low potential. So I'm watching this. Say first entry long, second entry long, potentially a higher low above the midline of this trading range. Really strong close of the signal bar, and the signal bar itself is only about 6 ticks. So it's a trade I'm willing to take, although I'd keep my stop probably below here. So it opens, it flushes down, it hits this EMA, bounces up. It actually goes above, one tick above, or more than one tick above here. It was floating around here. I like this trade, so I entered one tick above, hoping it'd come back and pick me up. It did. It pulls back, picks me up, and then closes above. And then the next candle it opens and it closes up here. Well, not closes up here, opens, flushes up, gives me my profit. I move my stop loss from below this guy, actually it was below this big candle here, to one tick above my entry. And unfortunately, it comes back down and stops me out. I wasn't that, in hindsight, I think I should have taken the whole position off because it is getting close to the top of the range. So expecting another push up is it's probably a big ask. So I could have just gotten more profit than just losing on the, well, not losing, but getting out 1 point above, one tick above the break even for the runner. So in other words, seeing this and the ATR was kind of low, I should have just considered taking the whole position off, not even trying a runner. So it kind of pushes around. Like if I didn't get taken out by this one, this guy probably would have taken me out. But if I kept my runner way down here, which I don't think is a good idea, I could have probably rode this up. But unfortunately, it's just that this runner play didn't play out. Pushes up, no clear, and a phone call. No clear second entries here. Not that's not clear, just no second entries possession of themselves. I do have a second entry here, but this is a almost trade because this is a bad signal bar. It is hanging right at the EMA. What this needed to be was pretty much a green candle. And if I wanted to take this, I thought, okay, it's first entry long, potentially second entry long confirmed here, 2 legs down. Green channel needs to test this high, wait for a higher low. And then the higher low shows up here, but it's too far from the EMA. It's pressing and making new highs now. So I'm not confident on taking a higher low when it's already making a new high. You need room to scalp out, and you really don't know if this is played out or if it's going to reverse. He's moving up, starts falling on this orange down channel. Then it starts reversing back up, first entry short. Technically, you have a second entry short, not a good signal bar. I was thinking this is potentially the up channel here. But also says new low, first entry short, second entry short, failed second entry short, new high, double top, first entry long, pullback. On the same candle right here, it created the second entry long and the signal bars all contained in this candle. So there's actually two key entry points here. I thought there was a trade here, but I felt it was a little aggressive. Okay, so this green up channel has tested and made a new high already. This came down, made, well, broke, didn't really test the low. So I'm not thinking it's going to test the low now because it already moved up more than 50% of this move. So the correction looks like it might not happen yet. So it's already first entry short, second entry short failure, first entry long, pullback, same candle move one tick below and closed above, second entry long. I thought it was a more aggressive trade, bounce off the EMA. I just wasn't feeling too confident. And it was a doji on the previous candle. And there's really no room to scalp out before the double top. There's enough room to get up to here, but I wasn't really sure it was going to push up to there because it could just end up being a lower high and then flush down, creating one leg, two attempts up, and the second leg down. So it's a little ambiguous. It's a more aggressive trade. I didn't take it. Looked like it would have worked though. Moves up on this, what I thought is a yellow up channel. A measure move has played out, overshoot, pushes back down, is a new high. It's a first entry long pullback, creates a second entry long here, but this is almost trade because here it never broke above here. So you technically don't even have a second entry long yet. The follow through, now you do have a kind of a second entry long, but it's not the cleanest. It's what I consider an almost trade. And it took too many candles for the setup to form. So I'm not that keen on it now. Then prices push up. I was playing with the idea that maybe this channel might be in play, but then it starts reversing, really congested here, nothing too exciting. So new low, first entry short, pullback, second entry short. Second entry short, again, I consider an almost trade. So new localized low, first entry short, second entry short. I thought I was playing at least a trend line resistance coming down. There's a bunch of touches here, so clearly there's a resistance here. EMA is also rejecting prices. It moved one tick up and then flushed, engulfed this entire candle. Now, if this candle wasn't here or it just had more room to the lows, I would have considered it an actual possible trade, but I don't like where it closed right here. There's no room before I hit clearly some kind of support, some kind of price right here was being respected. So sellers had issues fully breaking through all the way down. So it went four candles down, had trouble, made another attempt, had trouble, made a third attempt right here, and had trouble. And this time it didn't even break lower. So it's just giving me pause. I mean, also risking a 11-point tick, 11 tick candle. It just didn't quite set up right. So I had to leave it alone. In this case, it worked. Prices moved down. It's a new low. First entry short, second entry short. I saw the second entry short. I didn't want to take it just because it's inside bar. EMA is holding. Break of this orange down channel. You're expecting a test of the low. It just came right after doji. Just a lot of conflicting ideas going with this trade, so I just left it alone. Then it kind of steadily moves up this, flushes down. The first entry long, new low, first entry short. Technically, I have a second entry short, but it just feels, I just didn't really like the look of this candle. Things are just too side by side now, and this is a pretty much within a 3-point range. So if you gap out 1 point out of a 3-point range, it just feels dicey. New high, first entry long, second entry long. Nothing here tells me to go long here, even though you could, in theory, have played it like this. Multiple tests here, but I don't like that they're all wicks, so I would have had it more higher here. And it's the wrong color. So EMA isn't providing any extra key entry point, so you don't have that to rely on. And it's just a wrong colored candle. Just sit this out. The one leg down, pullback, second leg down, new high, first entry long, pullback, second entry long. It's a doji inside bar, nothing worth taking. And then it kind of goes into the last 10 minutes of the day, because it's already at here, the last 10 minutes, and it just gets choppy. So kind of how I saw the charts today. Took two trades, got two winners. I'm okay with that. In hindsight, looking at the ATR and looking at what the price movement was, I think I should not have played runners. I should have just taken the entire position on and put the entire position on, take the entire position off. Because something like this, where it was kind of choppy, the hope for a runner and the ATRs being so low, it's probably just better just take a gun and run and just take the profit. So hopefully that was helpful.